Hello drama lovers, welcome back to my channel. Breaking news. It started with a single photo from a hospital room. Bai Lu, pale but smiling faintly, her hand wrapped in a bandage. But what really caught everyone's attention was the man sitting quietly beside her. Joseph Zeng, his eyes filled with worry, his schedule abandoned, and his heart seemingly right there with hers. Was this just friendship, or something deeper unfolding before our eyes? The day had started like any other on the set of Bai Lu's new drama, Moonlight Shadows. Under the blazing studio lights, Bai Lu had been filming an emotionally intense scene, the kind that demands both physical and mental endurance. She was known for her professionalism, her ability to cry on cue, to embody heartbreak so convincingly that even crew members sometimes had to look away. But then, a single misstep turned everything upside down. While running through a fog-covered scene, Bai Lu slipped on a hidden cable. The fall wasn't dramatic, not like in the movies, but the sound that followed silenced the entire set. Cameras stopped rolling. Crew members rushed in. And when she tried to stand, pain spread through her wrist like fire. Within minutes, she was rushed to a nearby hospital. Rumors spread before anyone could confirm what really happened. Some fans thought it was just exhaustion. Others feared something worse. Within hours, "Pray for Bai Lu" trended across Weibo and Twitter, her fandom uniting in worry and love. And then the unexpected twist. As the first photos from the hospital leaked, sharp-eyed fans noticed a familiar figure in the corner. A man in a black hoodie, trying to stay unnoticed, his expression unreadable. It was Joseph Zeng. The same Joseph who had just wrapped his own filming schedule miles away. The same co-star who had once been linked to her after their undeniable chemistry in Destined. No one expected him to appear. Yet there he was, sitting beside her bed, gently holding her hand while doctors explained her condition. That image, two people in quiet concern, disconnected from fame, from cameras, from the world, was enough to ignite a storm online. Fans began piecing together timelines. How did he get there so fast? Did he cancel his own work? Why did he look so emotional soon? Insiders confirmed that Joseph had left his studio commitments the moment he heard about the accident. He drove through the night, arriving at the hospital hours later. And when he walked in, Bai Lu reportedly burst into tears. It wasn't a scene for a drama anymore. It was real. And that's what made it unforgettable. Transition. But while fans were captivated by that tender reunion, what happened next made everything feel even more personal and even harder to explain away as just friendship. In the days that followed, Bai Lu stayed in the hospital for recovery and observation. She had a sprained wrist, mild bruising, and exhaustion not life-threatening, but serious enough to halt production for a week. Yet what touched fans most wasn't her injury, it was Joseph's unwavering presence. Every morning, hospital staff noticed him arriving quietly with coffee. Every evening, he was the last visitor to leave. He didn't post anything on social media, didn't make a statement, didn't even try to clarify the rumors. Instead, he simply stayed. According to a nurse who later spoke to a local outlet, Joseph helped Bai Lu with simple things: opening bottles, turning pages of her script, even adjusting her blanket when she fell asleep mid-conversation. It wasn't grand or performative. It was intimate, gentle, human. And in that silence, their bond became louder than any press release could ever be. Fans began calling it the quiet love story, a moment that didn't need words, just presence. Of course, the entertainment industry couldn't resist the drama. Media outlets speculated everything. Were they secretly dating? Was this their soft launch? Others argued it was just compassion between close friends. But in an industry often driven by image and illusion, authenticity stands out. And what Joseph showed was something raw, something that couldn't be faked for headlines. Back in 2023, Bai Lu and Joseph had already gained attention for their chemistry in Destined. Their behind-the-scenes clips showed laughter, mutual respect, and a spark that fans couldn't ignore. They joked easily, shared inside glances, and comforted each other through long filming nights. That on-screen magic didn't fade when the cameras stopped rolling, and now, seeing him by her bedside, fans felt that magic come alive again, but this time, for real. When Bai Lu was finally discharged, she appeared in a simple white sweater and cap. Joseph walked a few steps behind her, keeping his distance from the paparazzi's flashes. But one photo said everything, her hands still wrapped slightly lifted, and his reaching instinctively to steady her. No captions. No explanations. Just that gesture. And the internet fell in love all over again. Transition. But even after the cameras left and the hashtags died down, the story didn't end there. In fact, what followed may be the most revealing chapter of all. After her recovery, Bai Lu returned to the set. But something had changed, not just in her, but in the way fans saw her and Joseph. They weren't just two stars anymore. They were symbols of quiet loyalty in an industry known for fleeting bonds. During her first public appearance post-recovery, Bai Lu smiled softly when reporters asked about Joseph. "He is a very kind person," she said, carefully choosing her words. Sometimes, you don't need many words to feel someone's sincerity. It was simple. But the tone, the warmth behind her eyes was enough. Fans immediately noticed that Joseph's studio liked that clip within minutes of it being posted, and then came his turn to speak. In an interview promoting his new series, when a journalist mentioned Bai Lu, Joseph paused for a long moment before replying, "She's one of the strongest people I've ever met. She doesn't like to show when she's hurting, but she deserves someone to notice when she does." That quote went viral overnight. Not because it confirmed anything, but because it felt real, the kind of line you don't rehearse, the kind you say when you've lived through the moment yourself. Even colleagues began to notice their quiet bond. One producer commented anonymously that during group readings, Joseph would often check on Bai Lu's wrist, asking if she was okay to hold scripts or type notes. "He treats her like she's